Hello, I am Gina Williams, and welcome to Classical Thursdays, bringing you new contemporary classical music. So let's get started. For years, I wanted to be a singer, and I worked very hard to get to where I am today. But today, I want to focus on someone else's voice. The voices in the realm of dance, the educators, the owners, the pioneers who seek to do things that no one else has done. So I want you to hear their stories of how they inspire other people to be the best they can be in the realm of dance. This is their voice, their art.
Okay, and today we have the beautiful, talented, fabulous Fabio Mariano, all the way from
Hi,
Rio
Gina.
de Janeiro, Brazil. I got that right. You're in Rio, right?
Yes, I'm from Rio de Janeiro.
Wow, wow. Fabio, this is honestly
I mean, I'm not in Brazil right now, but that's where I'm from.
oh wow, wow, wow. Oh, you're not okay. So let's talk about that. Where are you on this planet right now?
Right now, I'm in Memphis, Tennessee, in the United States.
Hence the time zones.
Yes,
Okay, you're in Memphis. Okay, so okay, Fabio, we did not talk about this. What are you doing in Memphis? Are you?
this is where I live. It's the company that I work for is here.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I work for a dance company called Collage Dance Collective, and the company is based here in Memphis. I've been living here for 3 years. This is the beginning of my fourth year here.
Wow. So are things still happening in spite of what's been going on in the world? Don't have to tell you what's going on in the world. Like, how's that going? Like, how has that affected your work at all, or not, or like how's that going?
Well, it didn't affect. Uh, it definitely did affect, but it didn't make our season be canceled or anything.
Oh,
Our season is still going. We came back to work, and we're rehearsing. We're going to have performances, but they're not going to be live performances. They're going to be online performances. So we're rehearsing, and we are going to record all of the shows, and we're going to stream them online. So my company created such a something like a Netflix. It's a subscription streaming thing. So people can subscribe, and they pay, I think it's $11 a month for the subscriptions, basically like a Netflix. And you get access to all of the performance that we're going to do. And it's also going to be broadcasted on local TV here in Memphis.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you can subscribe, you can watch it on low. If you're in Memphis, you can watch it on television there. Okay.
Yes, it's not going to be the full performance on TV. So on TV is going to be just a little bit. If you want to watch the full performance, you have to subscribe
Got
on the
it.
website.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I will not ask you what the performance is like, but like if I were Oprah Winfrey, what would you tell me to kind of entice people to want to watch it? Like what kind of things could they be in for? What would be your the trailer to the movie? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we have some very beautiful work by some choreographers that I really like and admire, and I'm so happy that we got the chance to work with them in during this time. There's actually a choreographer that's coming that is one of my favorites. That is coming to set a work for us for the first performance, the first performance, and I think it's just our shows are usually like a roller coaster because we are a contemporary and classical company.
Okay.
So we have classical, like we do the second act of Swan Lake. This is going to be one of the pieces, but we also do contemporary works that are completely opposite of Swan Lake, which is super classical and traditional, so you can have different aspects in one show. And Collage is a company that is basically a company for diversity. So most of dancers are of color, or with Black heritage or other heritage. So it has a very mixed group of dancers and different cultures. They're international dancers. So it's very interesting. It's a very interesting mix that you're going to see.
I like that. How did you manage to get so many people involved from so many diverse backgrounds? Like, did you put a call out? Did you put calls out to certain places? You know what I mean? Like, how were you able to get that kind of diversity? And was it hard? Like, was it really, really hard?
Well, Collage is a company that it's pretty new. This is our, I think, the sixth season of the company.
Wow.
So for now, we are 11 dancers in the company, and professional ballet companies, they usually have audition every year. There is
Yeah.
an audition season, and dancers audition for the company, and that's what Collage has been doing. Uh, when we need more dancers, they do contact people to guest and do specific performances. But that's how they have been going so far, doing auditions and trying to get people, and people decide to join the company. I think
Wow.
the company has been doing a great job so far, especially for such a new company. A lot of companies, they have a hard time in the beginning until
Yeah.
they get it going. Of course, things hasn't been always easy, but I think we're in a very good place for where we are right now. And yeah, it's like that. People have to find for companies that they like, and they're not that they like because they don't know the company yet, but that they get interested in what the company is doing. And
Mhm.
that's how they got a lot of their dancers. The dancers were like, oh, okay, I like what this company is doing and the direction it's going. So let me go and check it out.
Okay.
And that's how it is.
Wow. So, okay. So, what you're saying is there is not a shortage of people who are passionate about dance, passionate about ballet and contemporary arts. Like, there are people who, like, no matter what, they need to express themselves this way.
Oh no, there's not a shortage. There is
Yeah.
actually a lot of dancers who don't even
Wow.
have a job because there are not enough jobs for the amount of dancers that are, you
Well,
know.
it's a blessing that you've created the space, for lack of a better term. The collective. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Is it collective?
Collage Dance Collective.
Collage
It's a
dance
big name.
collective.
It's a
Collage
long
dance.
name. We usually just say Collage Dance.
I like it. Collage. Okay, got it. Collage Dance Collective. I had collective in my mind, but last word. Collage Dance Collective. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings me to actually my first official question. Ha, 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 ha. How did you get into dance? Like, what inspired you? Like, what made you? We talked about a little bit about it before, so I know some of it might be repeat, but I know
Yeah.
people want to know for your story.
Yeah. Well, for me, I think it's really one of those things for those who believe from previous lives, or I don't know, a kind of passion that was inside of me, and it came out because I don't have any artists in my family. I didn't have anybody to like, oh, this person does that, so let me try to do that too. No, all of a sudden I was like, I want to dance. And what inspired me, what I'd say started that, was watching a TV show in Brazil. It was a soap opera in Brazil,
Oh,
and there is a very famous ballerina in Brazil that everybody knows her, and she was in this soap opera. She was doing this soap opera, even though she was a ballerina. She was doing an appearance there, and I was watching. That was how I got to find discover ballet, because I didn't know about ballet before. So I was like, oh, that's so interesting. Every time there was ballet scenes in the show, I was like, oh wow, maybe I could try that. I like that. But at the same time, there was that thing in my head that society created, that's like, oh, ballet is for girls, you
yes.
can't do that,
Yeah.
and all of that situation. So it took me a while to really discover that I wanted to try that. I was like, okay, I really want to do it. I want to try it. I don't know if I like it, but I really want to try it.
Yeah.
So I got the courage talk to my father, because I was like, I need to tell my father first, because if he says no, then I don't need to tell anybody else about this. So I told my father, I was like, so dad, I was thinking of trying ballet classes. What do you think? And he was the sweetest and the most supportive. He was like, yeah, you should try it. Try it. And if you like it, you go ahead and you keep doing it, you know?
Wow.
And I was like, okay, whew, I can try it now.
Yeah.
So that's how I started. And I got inspired by this famous Brazilian ballerina on TV.
Soap opera, ballerina on TV, and you saying there's got to be a ballerino. I believe that's what it's called, ballerino.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't hear that term every day,
Yeah,
and
it's not very
Fabio.
common, but yeah,
Yeah.
in the soap opera there were female and male dancers.
Oh, okay. So you did see men. So it wasn't like
Yes.
so you
Yeah. It
knew
was like the
who
main
had
character in
that.
the ballet scene was the girl, but every time that she was dancing, there was girls and boys dancing with her.
Yeah.
So I saw it. I knew that men dance too, and I was like, okay, yeah, I can do it.
Wow. Wow. That's so cool. That's very cool. Very cool. Well, I'm glad I'm glad you were watching that episode. I don't know how
Oh,
else
me
to say it.
too.
I'm glad you were watching that episode. Oh man.
Yeah.
And your
Since
mom
then,
when
since
she
I
found out.
started, I didn't stop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow. And it's but I won't ask you how old you are or how many years that was, but you're
Oh,
pretty
I don't mind saying if you want to know. That was
how many years ago? Let me ask that, not your age.
that was 2006. So 14 years ago.
That's not long ago.
14 years ago. Yeah, 2006. That I started dancing in 2006. 2006 was when I took my first dance class. So
Wow.
yeah, and I was 14. Yeah, I was 14 years old at the time. Yeah,
That's
which
cool.
is later than most people start dancing, actually.
You did it. You're doing it. You're
Yeah,
making it happen. And not
yeah,
only that are you making it happen with the dancing, you're making it happen with crochet.
yeah, that's true.
I
You can see
saw
all my
that.
arms back here.
I saw. Believe me, I saw those colors. I didn't miss those colors. You gotta tell us all about the crochet. Because honestly, before you talk about it, when you gave me your Facebook and Instagram, I thought I was at the wrong page. I thought the link was broken or someone had hijacked it. I was like, no, this is not a ballet dancers page. There's no way. So I went and I don't remember if it was Facebook or Instagram, and I realized, I'm like, oh my goodness, it is Fabio. He crochets. And I thought to myself, serves me right. Because people look at me and my music and stuff, they think, okay, she might do contemporary music. And they're like, she writes orchestral music? No. Sure that's not a sample? You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's so yeah, serves me right. I guess it just goes to show you really cannot judge the book by its cover. But
that's really true. Yeah.
you when did you start crocheting? I know why. I think people might want to know why, but I want to know when you started. Like, okay, just tell me everything. Tell me everything.
Well, I started crocheting when I moved to the US. Before, I didn't know anything about crochet. And I moved to the US not too long ago. I moved in 2016.
Okay.
So 4 years ago, 4 years and a half ago now, because we're almost at the end of the year. And I moved to New Jersey,
Oh wow.
and in New Jersey was super cold, and I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, so I had never felt that kind of cold before. So I didn't have uh, garments for that cold. I didn't have coats and stuff and all of that. So I was like, oh my God, I need to get more stuff. But at the same time, I didn't have much money because I was working, but the salary was not too much. I had to buy other things. I had other priorities. And I was like, maybe I could make. And there was a friend of mine who was working in the company that I was working at the time, and she was always crocheting.
Oh,
We would be rehearsing, and then when she had a break, she would sit down and pull her hook out and be crocheting. And I was like, that's so interesting. Maybe I could try do that. And I went and talked to her. I was like, hey, can you teach me how to do that? And she was like, sure, I'll teach you. It's not very hard. And I was like, okay. And then she got me a hook and a yarn, and she taught me. And I was like, you said this was not very hard. This is so hard. It was so hard at first. And uh, people ask me like, is it hard? Because I learned it basically by myself. Like she gave me the hook and the yarn, but we were not like having classes or anything. She was like, oh, you did this and this. It's like, okay. So I went to YouTube and I started watching videos, and I would be on YouTube and trying to do it for the longest. It took me forever to get it, you know. But I was so determined to do that, and I was also at the time I was already thinking, because I wasn't making much money. I was like, if this turns out good enough, I could even sell it and maybe make some extra money to help me.
yeah,
So, and I had a lot of free time too. I only worked from like 10 to 3, and I couldn't work anywhere else because my visa didn't allow me. I was like,
right.
I'm gonna do this. I need to focus on this. So
Just
that's what I was doing, and I started crocheting and practicing a lot, and it took me a while to get it, but
wow,
yeah. So now it's been 4 years since I started crocheting.
wow, 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 wow. I mean, I'm saying wow because it's so Fabio. No, I mean, there are few men who are doing ballet, and even fewer men who crochet.
Yeah,
Fabio, I
that's
don't
true.
crochet. You understand what I'm saying? I, like, it's just, I think it's awesome. I will let you in on a secret. It's not really much of a secret. Picked up crochet and couldn't stand it. Sorry. Could not stand it to save my life. It was like, I mean, crochet was too, this is going to sound odd coming from me, but it was too artistic. To me, it was not logic. It was not logical. It made no sense. It was like, how does one needle create something like square? No, no, that doesn't make sense. I can see it going around, but not. But I used to knit. Knitting was my thing. I mean, like knit two, purl one. Knit.
And it's
I
funny
was
because I tried knitting. I don't know how to knit, but I
oh,
tried it, and I thought it was harder than crochet.
wow.
But maybe it's
See,
just because I was used to crochet already. I think if I really tried, I could get it. Uh,
oh, you
but I'm not as interested in knitting as I am in crochet.
that makes
When I see knitting works and crochet works, I like the crochet works better. And
true.
I think you have more possibilities and you can do more things. I like it better. I don't know. So I stick to crochet. But I feel like you're right. There's a lot of people who do knitting, but not as many
Not
do
both
crochet. I
as
feel
much.
like.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when people make crochet, they make like dolls and stuff for the house and decoration and
That's
art and crafts and stuff like that, but not garment like clothes and
no,
stuff like
no,
that.
no. You're right, and I've noticed that too. Like, um, how can I put it? People love what they love, like it in the sense that you know when you do crochet, you crochet. When you knit. People generally, I don't find people doing both a lot.
Yeah.
At the same time, crochet is kind of prettier than knitting. Knitting is more. I shouldn't say that. Say all this because all the all the people who knit in the world be like, what? No. It's it's gonna be crochet versus knitting. I can see it already. I got two needles, so this may not be a fair fight. But no, for real, for real. He's like, I know how to work the one. Believe me. No, 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 no. I think it's really, really cool. it's really cool that you were able to find something that you enjoy along with ballet, and
Yeah.
also and you have it available if people want to order it, right?
Yes. Now I sell it, and when I did start it, I started thinking of the possibility of selling, but I was just starting. It wasn't good stuff. I couldn't sell it, you know. So I made a lot for myself and for my girlfriend at the time, for friends. I was practicing a lot, but I couldn't sell that kind of stuff. But then I moved to Memphis, and it was actually a friend of mine that he saw my stuff and he was like, "Oh, this looks so good. Did you sell it?" And I was
Wow.
like, um, I I I can. I didn't know what to answer. I was like, I can sell, yeah.
Yes.
And it was like, yeah, you should definitely sell it. You should make stuff to sell and put online, and people will buy it. And I was like, that's so true. I could. And I started thinking about that, and Instagram was is already very popular. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna create on Instagram, and I created an Instagram page, and that's where I have all of my stuff posted.
Wow.
And yeah, that's how I started, and it's been going pretty well. When I started, there was so many people buying. I was like, oh wow, that's amazing. I was very excited, and until today, there's still a lot of people that are interested in supporting. So it's great. I love it, and
Wow.
it's escape, because I dance every day. It's my
Yeah.
work, and sometimes you just want to take your mind off of it.
Ah,
And a lot of people ask like, "Oh, is it relaxing? Do you have?"
yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, "It's not as relaxing as you think. It's not meditation. It's not a spa."
Right,
Okay.
right, 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 right.
Sometimes I stress myself a little bit. If I make a mistake and I have to undo everything, I'm like, "Oh my
Oh
god."
no.
But most of the times, it's I have a great time doing it, and I enjoy it a lot. So yeah, every time I have some free time, I just get my hook, get my yarn, and I start making. Even if it's not an order, even if people didn't order or ask for anything, I'm still trying to create something.
Well, what you just said, if I may interject, what you said there is one of the most vital things that you see with successful artists. We don't, if I can say we, don't do things because necessarily we're not motivated because someone wants it or needs or whatever. We're motivated because it's just something that needs to be done. And
Yes.
you, when you do that, it's created with love. It's interesting. It's got that something in it you can't complain. You can't compare. Sorry, and people sense that. People do
Yeah.
sense that, and they just go, "I want it." You know, everything made with love is totally different when it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm an artist, so every time I make something, and I make it for myself first.
Mm-hmm.
you know and this is how the crochet started. Like, I do the crochet stuff, and most of them I do what I like and what I think is going to look nice, not necessarily for me, but what I think it will look nice. And if people are interested, I'm like, yeah, you can buy it.
Yeah,
I'm selling it you know and of course, if people ask me to do something, I was like, oh, I like this and that. If I can, I'll be like, sure, I can make it. But if I can't, I'm not gonna
yeah.
fake something.
You're not gonna say like, yeah, yeah, I can. Oh,
Yeah,
me too.
sometimes I can't make it. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I do that, and I'm very artsy. I'm always finding something to do. Like, I do origami. Let me show you something.
Okay. Okay. I'm game. We're gonna see some origami.
Do you know what origami is?
Yes, I do.
This is one of my origamis.
Wow.
It's a dragon.
Yes.
I love doing
Look
this.
at that.
Just like when I
Paint
have
by
some free
percentage.
time, I like to do origami.
That's so cool. That is
Yeah,
cool.
I'm always trying to find something artsy to do.
Wow. Wow. Very creative. Incredibly creative. Crochet, origami, ballet, That's a full contact sport right there for you, though. Just your hands, your whole body's going. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I have to, I have to ask, where do you, what would, no, what would, I can say, where do you see yourself with, um, but no, no, I'm gonna ask that. I'll let that one go. I'm gonna ask you, what do you want to see more of in the world in general at this point?
What do I want to see more in the world?
Yeah, you can tackle one angle since there's so many things I know people you could say, but
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff that I would like to see more in the world,
okay.
definitely.
Your
Um,
highlights, top three. How about that?
ooh, top three. Not necessarily in order, but
No.
just things that I think or priority. But I think there needs to be. This is one thing. This is big. I think this because I am an artist and I am in this field and I see that. But
Okay.
there must be more recognition to the importance of art in general, and it's very it's very underrated in a
Yeah,
way. Especially,
underrated.
and I see this a lot in Brazil. I see this a lot in my own country because people don't appreciate and don't recognize the work of an artist,
No,
and
no. In
so
general.
like if they have dancers or uh, actors and actresses, they don't appreciate the only artists they appreciate and give recognition is famous people on TV
Yeah.
or famous singers, you know.
Wow.
But they don't appreciate painters or sculptors, not sculptors. How do you say? People who make sculptures,
Yeah.
um,
Pictures.
dancers, and all of that other stuff. And there's so much. There's a lot. There's so many things that people can make that it's art and people don't appreciate. And I'm always like, you guys cannot think that this is something is just an option, it's just a luxury. It's necessary.
Yeah.
Imagine a world without art. You would die. People would
Oh,
die.
no sound,
You
no
know, it would be
sounds.
a world in black and white, and people would just die of depression, like all the time. Imagine if you had no music to listen to, no TV shows to watch on Netflix, no movies to watch or go to the movies, no nothing. So I think people
I
really have to
can't
appreciate the
imagine
work
that.
that they do.
I know. I'm.
Yeah, it's very necessary, and people don't. They'll never say that an artist's work is as special as or as vital as other professions, and I'm like, yes, it's very important and very vital. And one time, I saw something that a doctor wrote, and somebody wrote to her like, thank you very much for saving lives and something like that,
Yeah.
and she responded saying like, and the person was an artist, I think it was a dancer actually, and she was like, no, we are thankful to you for the art that you bring. I can save a life, I can save the mechanics of a body, but you can save a soul
Yeah. You keep
with
us
your
going.
art.
Yeah.
So my work cannot be done if I don't have a body to work with, and nobody can survive without art and without what you do. And that touched me so much. I remember I cried reading that, because it was like, wow, that's like a person that even I consider being so important and so essential, which is a doctor, was saying like, my work is important, but yours is as important as mine. I couldn't be doing my work if it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
I love it. I love it. You don't hear that every day.
Yeah.
You really don't.
Another thing that I think I would really like to see more in the world is more respect for our planet.
Yeah.
I think it's just a lot of exploitation of the planet, and we don't give back enough.
No.
You know, it's a lot of things that we can do, And it's the small things that put together will be big, that I think it's very important. And I really wish that more people were conscious about the importance of it, because if you just take and take and never give back, it's gonna end at some point,
Yeah.
So
Someone's
that's
gonna say,
something that I think it's really important to for people to reflect on.
wow, no, it's true. You, how can I put it? It's no, you said it exactly. Like we live in a world of me and taking, not what can I do? What can I do to give back? Give back to the planet, give back to each other. We got to start
I
somewhere.
think it's the small things,
It
we
is the
think that
small.
like,
That's what I
oh,
mean.
just me trying to do something is not gonna save the planet. No, yeah, you're right. If just you do it, you're not gonna save it. But if all of the 7 billion, just each one of them do it, then we're gonna be doing something. Even if
Exactly.
not all the 7 billion, but if half of it do it, it's gonna be something. So we have to start there. That little piece of canned wrap that you throw on the floor, don't do it, and it's gonna help. Recycle your trash, and stuff like that. Don't waste food. Don't.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things that we
Exactly.
can do uh, to to help the planet, and I think it's very important, because the same way you take care of your house, you should take care of the planet, because the planet is your house.
Yeah. It's your house outside of your house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
No,
really
I'm so
is.
with you. I'm so with you. We gotta, you know, we don't, how do I put it? I've heard someone say not everybody can save the world or be uplifting or this or that. I get that. I respect that, fine. But at the same time, even though everybody might have different things to say, we should still care. Care about what we do or say actually has an effect on someone else. What we do has an effect on the planet. What we do or say has like there's some sort of cause and effect, no matter
Yeah,
which
there's that.
way you
Yeah,
slice it.
definitely is.
Yeah, and you were gonna say something else just then.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, you can definitely influence people with the smallest of actions. I remember one time I was in a ferry,
Yeah,
and I was eating an apple, and I ate my apple and I finished, and there's that little center of the apple that you don't eat,
or yeah,
and I just threw it out the window uh, to the sea, to the bay
yeah,
that
I
we
understand.
were crossing.
Okay.
And there was a lady by my side, and she was like, "Could you please not do that? Just just throw it in the trash." And I was already conscious of that. I wasn't a person that used to throw trash on the streets or anything. And I was like,
Oh man.
"Oh yeah, but it was just an apple. It's organic. It's not plastic or anything." And she was like, "I know it's not as bad, but people can see. If a child see you throwing an apple, they might think that it's okay to throw a bottle, to throw a can, to throw a wrap, and it might not be organic. So what you do can definitely influence somebody else, and somebody who is not as conscious as you. So yeah, that was organic, but maybe somebody will throw something else because they saw you and be like, oh, maybe that's okay then. So just use the trash. I was like, yeah, that's very right. And I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. Thank you. So
You
yeah,
know,
it's the small things.
I want to break that down a little more, if I may, too, is that what she was really speaking to was not so much because you were right. It is biodegradable. It's better off in the sea than it's gonna break apart. Some animal's gonna chomp on part of it. I'm just being
Yeah.
honest. But it was the act of throwing in terms. I'm not saying you should have dropped it gently into the sea, but when someone sees somebody throwing, there's a mentality, not that you had, but people look at it as a kind of dismissive I don't care,
Yeah.
rebellious. We tend to associate, you know, you get what I'm saying. And so
Yeah.
when someone puts it in the trash or throws it in the trash, we never really talk of this way, throws it in the trash. When you put it in the trash, it's the manner comes across as more respectful. So our actions speak louder than the words, because the words are correct. It is biodegradable, but the actions may, because they speak louder, others may take the actions in more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's it. I just hope people feel inspired somehow and uh, just think their best to just try to be their best,
Yeah.
for other people and for the world. That's one other thing that I would like to see more in the world is people being kind to another.
Yeah.
I think it's we a lot of the time nowadays, most of the time we're worried about ourselves and thinking about ourselves. We have to make it for ourselves,
Yes.
um, and that's important. You are important, but we have to be kind to each other. We can't just think about ourselves in a selfish way. So uh, we have to live in this world being kind to one another.
It's not easy, especially in this
Yeah,
day and age. I find a lot of Gen Z and millennials really struggle with the, you know, not that they struggle with being kind, but you said it well. Like, I need to find my place in this world. I need to work hard and graduate. And who am I going to marry? And am I going to be a bum? And everything's so depressing and that kind of thing.
yeah,
It almost feels like there's not a whole lot of things to hope for with this generation. There's like a dark
yeah,
vibe. There's a dark vibe. And
yeah. And I feel like a lot of things is also superficial.
yeah, yeah,
Like there's a lot of superficial stuff that people care more for superficial stuff than really intense stuff.
yes,
And you can see that even in relationships.
yeah,
Nowadays people just meet somebody on an app that you have on your phone, and then just they make out or do whatever, and that's it. It's nothing intense. It's not like you meet somebody, you just somewhere, and then you cross eyes and you have that, things that used to happen in a different way.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's a lot of stuff. Like people care more for, they buy a food, they care more for the picture they're going to take of that food than really taking the time to enjoy that food.
Yeah,
I'm like, do you even remember how it tastes? Like that coffee that you just bought, do you like that coffee? Oh no, but it was pretty with the. So I think, yeah, there needs to be more living and
hmm taking,
less showing of
yeah,
what your life looks like.
taking the beautiful parts of life in.
Yes.
So it's
And
not
you have to
show
really
and
enjoy it.
tell that you're living it, that it's in you,
Yeah.
it's part of you, not
Yeah.
just a
Because
picture,
like I do
not just
I
a
do some showing too. I do some showing. I go on my Instagram, I post a lot of stuff. I like to share stuff too.
you're a
But
dancer. It'd be confusing if you didn't share. And if you didn't,
right, yeah.
it's
But it doesn't mean that I'm not enjoying the moment. And it's funny because sometimes if I am doing something that I'm really spending time doing, I'm not gonna check my phone. Like if I'm traveling or if I'm in a restaurant, if I'm with a group of friends, I'm not gonna use my phone. And
yeah.
because I'm living the moment, that's what I'm doing. Like it was my birthday a while ago, like last week or
Oh, happy
something.
belated,
Thank you.
for real.
And I I had some friends over here to celebrate with me and just have a few drinks and eat something. And when everybody left and I was putting things together, I was like, oh my God, I didn't take one picture. I don't have one picture of my
What's
little
wrong?
birthday celebration.
That's
My roommate was like, oh wow, that's true, you didn't take one picture. And I was like, but you know what, that's okay, because I was really enjoying the moment and I was there. That's what matters. I wasn't doing the little birthday celebration to post them or anything. It was for us who were here, so
wow,
that's good.
wow, 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 wow. I love it. I love it. So many things people can run with
Yeah.
because I think it's awesome. Wow. Fabio, you are truly living up to your name. I won't be corny about it, although I'm so tempted to, but you are living up to your name. Your parents are probably incredibly proud, and I
Thank you
don't
so
blame them.
much.
And you really you've offered a lot of hope. I know to people um, who have encountered you, and to people who will be watching this, to just remind them, we do like the fantasy. It reminds us of something that we could hope or aspire to, but there's something just as fantastic as something that is real, and to find the balance between those two um, streams of thought, or allow them to merge together in some crazy way, but you know what I mean. So, I
Yeah.
hope that made sense. Made sense in my head.
No, yeah, it does.
Okay, yeah.
And I appreciate the space. Thank you very much for having me here and for this conversation and this sharing of good energy. I hope people enjoy it too.
That's awesome. I enjoyed it immensely. I hope the same. If not, I'll be like, well, I enjoyed it. I only well, yeah. This was awesome. Thank you again. It's awesome. So
Yeah,
happy.
you're very welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having. No, wait. Thank you for being here. I'll say thank you for having me. Thank you for being here. So, do you think we should have an interview like this? Do you think this is professional? What do you think?
Well, people can enjoy it. You're just so relaxed and people might relax too. That's probably how most people will be watching it.
Oh,